Seeing him again after so many years awakened something within me that I thought had long been buried. The moment I looked into Chris's familiar gaze, it was as if the rest of the world vanished, leaving only the two of us. Those familiar looks brought back memories of our shared past, igniting a new desire to know him all over again. Even after all these years, the connection between us hadn't faded. In fact, it had grown stronger. Every glance at him filled me with an excitement I had never felt before. The feelings I had kept hidden all these years were now surfacing, rekindling an old spark deep inside me. As we sat down to talk, I found it difficult to hide my growing interest. Our conversation was more than just small talk. It was a bridge to something deeper between us. Every word, every look, strengthened the bond we shared, making me feel a mixture of excitement and caution. My heart was racing, my hands were slightly trembling, and being around him brought out emotions I could no longer ignore. The intensity of the connection was unsettling, yet irresistibly captivating. With each passing second, I felt an urge to draw closer to him. This unexpected encounter was changing everything I thought I knew. After finishing our coffee, he suggested taking a walk through the city, and I agreed without a second thought. With each step we took side by side, I could feel the intensity between us growing. Even the silence held meaning. It was charged with a tension that only we understood. Feeling his presence beside me brought to the surface emotions I had kept locked away. Every second, I wanted to be closer to him, yet part of me hesitated, wary of disrupting the spell. I was caught between savoring each moment and fearing its power. Concealing my feelings was becoming impossible. Eventually, we found ourselves in an old park, and the surrounding quietness heightened the attraction between us. As I looked at him, I caught a glimpse of something new and inviting in his eyes, a silent invitation that challenged all boundaries. I felt like a single touch would reveal everything we both kept hidden. At that moment, resisting him seemed futile. The emotions I had suppressed for so long were now impossible to ignore, as though they had been waiting for this exact moment. The world faded away, leaving only this shared intensity between us. When his hand touched my shoulder, everything I had been holding back rushed to the surface. This simple contact shattered all boundaries, laying bare the emotions I had struggled to keep hidden. Rational thoughts faded. All that mattered was being in this moment, immersed in his presence. The security I felt with him unveiled the feelings I'd locked away for so long. Every touch, every shared glance was a testament to the bond we shared. As I gave into the moment, I felt the strength of our connection in a way I hadn't before. My heart was no longer mine to control. As I moved closer, the distance between us practically disappeared. The warmth of his breath stirred emotions I had kept buried for years. This closeness created an excitement I could hardly describe. There was no turning back now. Every feeling I had was on full display. I found myself giving in completely, enveloped in the intensity of our connection. My mind quieted, allowing the experience to take over. This moment was something beyond logic, something only understood through the heart. The bond between us was palpable, and I felt truly alive. As our hands intertwined, the emotions I felt were like nothing I had experienced before. His touch awakened every desire I had been holding back, freeing them in an undeniable flood of feeling. Being this close to Chris felt right in a way that defied explanation. All I wanted was to be lost in the warmth of this moment, with nothing to hold me back. The connection between us grew stronger with each heartbeat. I knew this was a moment that would leave an unforgettable mark on me. The intensity of his presence stirred every dormant feeling, freeing them to the surface. Being this close to him unleashed desires and feelings that I had hidden away for years. In his presence, the barriers I'd built began to crumble, allowing my true self to emerge. Every rational thought vanished. there was only the peace I felt beside him. When our lips met, a wave of fulfillment washed over me, unlike anything I had felt before. This forbidden attraction grew more intense with each passing second. In his presence, the rest of the world faded away, leaving just us. My complex emotions began to take shape, gaining meaning I hadn't anticipated. The look in Chris's eyes stirred something deep within me, awakening feelings I could no longer suppress. My heart, once so guarded, now beat freely in the presence of this shared intensity. The pull between us was undeniable, a connection I couldn't and didn't want to resist. I felt secure and captivated all at once, drawn to him in a way that transcended words. Every shared moment brought us closer, erasing the years and igniting the unspoken feelings we had both held on to. This connection was unlike any other, leaving an indelible mark on my life. When he slowly ran his hands through my hair, all the emotions I had been holding back poured out. This closeness with him, this intimacy, brought forth years of unspoken emotions. I couldn't think of anything else. I was completely lost in the moment. Chris's presence made me feel both stronger and freer than I ever had. This bond we shared left a deep impression on my soul, stirring a passion like nothing I'd known before. Every second with him grew more precious, leaving me with a profound sense of fulfillment and joy. This closeness revealed long-buried feelings and desires, things I hadn't allowed myself to acknowledge. In Chris's eyes, I found a depth that resonated with every part of me, grounding my turbulent emotions. All rational thoughts slipped away, replaced by a sense of peace that was both thrilling and freeing. Being by his side was a revelation, an invitation to be fully myself. This pull between us created a unique harmony I had never felt. Each second allowed me to explore the layers of my emotions. Chris had left a lasting, undeniable impact on my life. With every moment I spent by his side, I felt my feelings for him deepen. Being near Chris made me feel complete, as if I had finally found a missing part of myself. The intensity of our bond was something I'd never experienced before, leaving me yearning to stay by his side. With each glance, each touch, the connection between us grew even stronger. Lost in this moment, nothing else seemed to matter. The strength of this bond was something I could never forget. My emotions continued to grow deeper, with every second feeling as precious as the last. In his presence, I felt completely vulnerable, yet safe. My emotions for him had silenced all reason, allowing desires I had kept hidden to surface. Every touch brought years of pent-up feelings to light. This moment was something I would cherish forever, a memory imprinted on my soul. Being with Chris gave me a freedom I had longed for, as all the walls I had built came tumbling down. In that moment, I felt as if I had truly found myself. Lost in his presence, I realized this was the most liberated I had ever felt. Each shared kiss seemed to unlock new layers of emotion within me. Chris's gentle touch unraveled every thought, leaving me immersed in the warmth of the moment. Our connection grew stronger, unveiling emotions I had kept hidden. This closeness, this attraction, brought a serenity and excitement unlike anything I had ever known. Being with him allowed me to finally let go, to truly feel. The intensity of his presence left an indelible mark on my heart, something I knew would stay with me forever. At last, every conflicting feeling I had made sense. Being with Chris gave me a satisfaction I hadn't known was possible. The weight of this attraction, mingled with an overwhelming sense of peace, eclipsed everything else. Rationality had no place here. I wanted only to lose myself in this moment. I understood now the value of every second I spent with him. My passion for him held a special place in my heart, leaving me with a memory I would carry always. As I held on to this moment, I knew I would forever cherish every second shared with him.